Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Today is a little story about my encounter, my meeting with a barber shop. Obviously they had to do something, so they did. Actually he did. I think he identifies as a man. So I went over there and I was in a good mood, so I spoke with this guy. So he was very, very verbal. And while he was doing his thing, blah, 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 he asked me where I'm from and all that spiel. His girlfriend is Romanian. Can you believe that? And I asked him what's her name, first name. He told me her name. I said, she was born here, right? Yeah, okay. Because her name was, I don't know, something Americanized or something. If it would have been a Romanian name, I would have known. But anyway, so we start talking about Romania, part of Russia, the whole spiel that is like, what are you talking about? You know, but I don't expect him to know because Romania is a shitty country as Ukraine is, which is unimportant for big powers. And I understand that. When first I came here in the United States, I was a little bit insulted when people did not know what Romania is, where Romania is. But then after a while, I realized, wait a second, BS country somewhere that these guys don't know anything but Dracula, Nadia Comaneci and Ceausescu, and that's it. That's all they know. Well, which is fine. Right now I'm saying, yeah, well, whatever. So he told that Romania is part of Russia. Okay, whatever, you know, whatever you say, man. So we spoke a little bit here and there, and then we spoke about politics, and he was, you know, fairly informed. He didn't have, let's say, a foundation, but we had a conversation, decent conversation, no arguments, no nothing like that. And we ended up with, he said, I got an AK-47. Yeah, it's made in Romania, I believe, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, okay, since I started talking about guns and that. And then he said that these guys will never get our guns, he said. And I said, why do you think so? Because this is America. That was his argument. He said, these guys can't get our guns. It will never happen. He couldn't tell me why. He said, because they will all fight back or something like that. I was like, really? Okay, yeah, all right. So I said, what if tomorrow the government says that they will have to buy back your guns because of too much, you know, how do you call it, mass shootings and all that? What are you going to do? Buy back? Never happen in America. Will never happen in America. I said, well, it'll happen in Australia. As far as I know, over there, I think they started, or New Zealand, one of these two. That way, they had a program of buy back your gun. I said, what do you mean buy back? This guy, the barber. I said, what about, I don't know, Australia? And they have the same thing. You know, they say you buy back. And I think there were some movements here that you voluntarily at first, because this was the first step. When you accept to buy back. Buy what back? As the guy said. But what struck me was his inability to even comprehend or entertain the idea that there's a possibility in this country to become tyrannical, or his guns being taken away, or, you know, his liberties being infringed. So that's the easiest way to take care of stuff with this kind of people. He was well intended. He was not a bad guy. Oh, what am I doing here? So it was not bad intended. He was just naive beyond normality, for me at least. And I didn't want to, you know, burst his bubble. I let him be. I just asked questions to tap into his knowledge and his way of seeing things. And he was telling me that everyone here has guns, and if the government would try only, wow, can you imagine what that's going to be? And I didn't even bother to tell him that these guns that we have, do you know what those guys have? Those guys have tanks, airplanes, bazookas, they have boom, they have things that you don't even know what they have. The how do you call it, the myth that the population here would be able to withstand the power of the government in case something happens, that's a joke. That's a joke. I mean, you have two hands. What are you going to use? Two pistols? one revolver, one pistol. What are you gonna? Why are you gonna use an AR-15? A puck, 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 puck. And even if you use an AR-15, let's say you modify the AK-47 and you made it automatic with semi-automatic, pop, 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 pop. Okay, that is not a military quality gun. After about I don't know, I don't even know how many rounds do you think that's gonna be there anymore. I watched a lot of videos with, for instance, they tried the AK-47, they tried to use it to the end, so they just had you know, and just automatic weapons until it burned the whole thing. It was, I don't know, about 1,000 rounds they used on a military, I think, grade weapon, which is different than what we have here. So let's say you have puck, 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 and those guys, imagine one having only an automatic weapon, and you have this. I mean, if you're accurate, they have snipers, they have, but I'm not going into that. But he was so naive in this. In America will never happen. That's it. Conversation over. And I was like, I tried. I said, well, you know, the Germans had guns before, you know, Adolf, and actually it was before him. And they had guns, and then they said, bring us guns, and they brought the guns. So, well, they're stupid or something. That was his argument. I don't want to insult him or say that actually Germany at that time, when this occurred, was the most educated country on this planet, maybe with the exception of Great Britain. But it was the most educated, the smartest country, the smartest nation, if you want to take it. Educated, not smart. But anyway, so it's kind of like civilized country, and they were able to pull that on them. Do you think these guys here, you know? But it was interesting, because I get this argument many times when here Americans say, this is America. They can't believe that here there would be a shortage of bread, possibly. This is America. And their argument is a historical fallacy. It's never been one. Only with that in the 20s, 30s, that's nothing over there. The Great Depression, no. And they still had, you know, bread and all that. It was just unemployment, but it's okay. They can't comprehend that that's possible. They can't comprehend that could be a dictator over there. They comprehend that someone is going to just say it's martial law right now because of a threat that we're going to point it to you. It's just shock. Remember when it was this pandemic? Remember when it was that pandemic? Remember what these guys do? They went like crazy and bought toilet paper and everything else. You couldn't find anything. It was just a scare. It was the same as in the Depression, when what triggered the stock markets to crash here in the United States. The same. Guys, they cannot pay you anymore. No more money, no more liquidity is gonna fall. Everybody went and took the money out. Boom. The same here. Everybody got panicked. And then they were like, they couldn't believe, what are we gonna, you know what? Buy bullets. Don't buy food, and don't buy that. Why? Because with the bullet, you're gonna get the food. As I was joking with a neighbor, he was gathering, you know, he had a room over there. He stocked food and said, are you gonna stock, you know, food and water and all that? I said, no, I'm buying, you know, I have ammunition. What are you gonna do? You're gonna eat ammunition? No. When I'm not gonna have food, I'm gonna pay you a visit with this. Hello, Jason. It's like, yeah, so you need that too, because when things happen like that, you can have everything you need and stay at home. Let's relax a little bit here, honey. And then boom, the door gets kicked in. And who's there? About 5 with shotguns. Hey, Emil, we are hungry. So, yeah. But they think, no, America, like this is something like a special, not special, like they are not human. Like they don't have the same instincts and all that. I mean, they voted for Obama 2 times. For George W. Bush 2 times. I mean, for God's sake. What are you talking about? As a guy said, maybe the American society, it was about like 12, 13 years, is more sophisticated than you think. I said, really? Voting for Obama 2 times? Well, look what happens right now with FBI, CIA, and the guys in charge. democracy and freedom. It's better than other places, but underneath, nothing like here. So yeah, this guy was very certain that no, in America will never happen. I mean, but why? Because it never happened. Like you find a pedophile and you investigate a crime and you find you interview or people and they say, well, he can't be he didn't do it. Why? Because he's never done it. And this is your argument. Maybe this is his first time, right? What? I mean, because he's never done it before, it means that he's never gonna do it in the future or something. No, he's never. I mean, he's like 70. He wouldn't, touch a kid or do this. Or really? All right. Maybe this is his first time, or maybe this is the first time you hear about. I mean, and you deal with these people. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Never in America. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.